Hey everyone, my name is Alyssa. I'm currently a fourth year student studying business at the Ivy School of Business, and I'm excited to take you along during this week of 16 weeks of internships as a day in the life of an associate product marketing manager intern, otherwise known as an APMM at Google. So let's dive right in. Google, stop the alarm. So again, welcome to my life as an APMM intern at Google this summer. I'm sure at some point in your life you've had some touch points with Google products, whether that's ranging from our hardware side with things like Google Pixel or our Chromebooks, or our infamous search engine, and everything in between that includes things like Google Calendar or Gmail, which are all products that I know I personally depend on just in my daily and personal life. That said, today I'll be walking you through the specific team that I was placed on at YouTube. So like many of you this summer, my internship has been completely remote. So while I haven't been able to experience any of the Google offices as well as the perks embedded into that, I have gotten a lot of flexibility in terms of where I'm able to work as well as the hours between that. So I was able to come back to Vancouver, my hometown, this summer and enjoy working from home. So right now it's about 9 a.m. and I know that I have to get my workday started, so I'll bring you along with me. So for most of my mornings, I usually set it up so that I'm checking on some of my emails from the previous day that I had missed, and likewise taking a look at my calendar for the next few hours. That allows me to know, what kind of meetings are coming up, and as well taking some time to look at what time I have available and sectioning out specific ones that allows me to focus and just work heads down on the specific project that I was tasked on. To give you some context, Google and every intern that comes into Google is set up with their own project for the entire 12-week duration. So in that specific project, you're able to actually lead everything from start to finish, meaning that you have a lot of ownership in how you tackle the specific problem that was given to you. So I know, at least for me, in the beginning stages, as I was kickstarting things off, that whole concept was very overwhelming, as there are definitely a lot of responsibility that is put onto your shoulders. That said, my personal experience with both the YouTube team, my manager, and just the greater marketing vertical that exists at Google has been incredible. Everyone is so welcoming and supportive, and there's a really strong support network that's built around you so that you know exactly who to turn to when you have specific questions or obstacles that you might be running through throughout your project. I just have to jump to another meeting right now, so I'll do that and take you along with me. Just about 11 a.m. right now, so at this point in my day, I'm usually getting another cup of coffee and likewise getting ready to eat breakfast or lunch, just depending on how hungry I am for that day. Today I have a few live streams that I have to watch and catch up on, so that's probably what I'll be doing when I am enjoying my lunch. It's about 12 p.m. right now, and this week, as part of our APMM program, some of the leads have organized a social for us. So today it's actually a truffle making and chocolate tasting event. I kind of already ate one, but nonetheless, this is what I'm gonna jump into for the next little hour. By the afternoon times, that is usually when most of my project meetings have ended, and in this segment of my day, I'm usually scheduling time to catch up with my mentors as well as some of my intern friends. During these catch-up, especially with my friends, we'll talk about literally anything and everything under the sun, whether that's our weekend plans or cool stuff that we have run into at Google during our work week. Usually at around 5 or 5:30 is usually the time that I log off, and from there my weekend usually kicks off. So during the weekend, one of the must-haves that I do on a weekly basis is going to spin class, and always trying to likewise find time to hang out with some of my friends, just because all of us have busy schedules throughout the week and don't often have time then. That's my typical workday as well as weekends in my personal life. Now let's jump into our Q&A segment. What program are you in and what school do you go to? Currently, I'm an incoming fourth-year student studying at Western University, but specifically business in the Ivy program. How did you find your internship? I've always known of the APMM program that existed at Google, and that was largely because of the fact that I had chatted with some previous people who just worked in the overall marketing vertical at Google, so I always had my eyes peeled out for kind of the program and the posting there. But ultimately, the posting, I saw it on LinkedIn on my feed, and that then led me to submit my application as well as my resume through the Google Careers portal. Why did you decide to intern at Google? In my personal life, I know that I've relied on a ton of Google products just to keep my day running. Everything from Google Home to other tools like Google Calendar and Gmail that really makes my life more organized and productive. So knowing all of that, I really wanted to capitalize on the opportunity to kind of work behind the scenes and deliver the same impact in various product lines to end users that also depend on these tools. And going on a tangent a little bit, beyond just the work itself, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, I had talked to a few Googlers, and the way that they talked about their experience as well as the people that they worked with on a daily basis was also a huge draw for me to come work in the company. What skills and past experiences helped you get the internship? I think there are really two areas that I wanted to highlight in this question. The first being the ability to pivot and also deal with ambiguous situations. I know for me, both working kind of in the tech industry as well as Google as a whole being a really large company, you have to be willing and kind of open in your project potentially changing. And that's just kind of the nature of what the work entails, and it's definitely easier said than done, but that's a big piece of coming and becoming a Googler. The second piece of that is having a genuine interest in tech. So obviously I'm not working on the technical side of Google, but that said, I know I was able to specifically display my interest in, breaking into tech and going into tech through a lot of my experiences. One of them being the fact that I was on Western's hackathon organizing team, Hack Western, for the past 3 years, and that really opened a lot of doors for me as well as changed my perspectives in terms of why I wanted to pursue tech in the first place. What is the most valuable lesson you have learned from your internship? The most valuable skill and lesson that I've learned from my internship is really knowing how to effectively manage expectations that come above. So, while you're, working through your project, there are often times where the timeline changes or the project scope could take you down a different direction. So knowing how to communicate that back to your team as well as your manager is just a huge part that I've come to realize to any given role in any industry, really. What is your favorite part about working at Google? I may have stated and talked about the people piece quite a bit during this video, and it might be a little bit overstated, but that is, the same answer that I'm gonna have to go to for this question. The people at Google are truly incredible, and you really do have a whole village of mentors that rally behind you and support you and are there to answer any questions literally at any given time. What is the work culture like at Google? Aside from the flexibility in my work schedule, there's definitely a lot to be said about work-life balance as well. Google is definitely a company that really takes care of your wellness, and I know personally, just being within the APMM intern program, we've honestly done so many fun and engaging activity that takes you a little bit away from, all the focus and heads down. So I hope you enjoyed the glimpse into my life as an APMM intern and got to see some of the stuff that I do. Likewise, feel free to stay connected with me. Everything should be included below, and feel free to give this video a like and subscribe to the 16 Weeks channel as we continue to release content in the next few weeks. So stay tuned.